In my last two video, in my first video about stress, what stress was, and how stress can affect our decision making, and how stress can affect our immune system, and how stress can affect our nerve system. In the second video, I talked about some way to regulate your nerve system. And I also talk about how to rewire our habits to help our body manage stress. And in today's video, I want to talk about another tip to use to manage stress, which is to audit your stress input. Now, what this means is identifying all sources of your stress in your environment, some of which may be stuff that we overlooked, but we constantly interact with. Maybe a clutter in your living space, your workplace, in your environment. Clutter could be a messy space, can increase your mental overload. Just looking at constant places that is clutter, has too much going on, could increase your stress level as well. Another thing is digital overload. Constant notification and screen time can strike our cortisol level, which is what activate or increase our stress level. So one thing we can do is taking breaks away from our digital tools, or muting our phone for, if it's 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day, putting our phone volume notification volume down, or just putting our phone on a do not disturb for those 2 hours a day or 30 minutes a day. That could help. Another thing is to observe toxic conversation. Negative or draining interaction can linger emotions. So if you notice that there's certain places that you go, or you find yourself more stressed, or certain people, conversation with certain people increase your stress level, you can take control of that by limiting the amount of conversation you have with that person. If you have to have conversation with them, if you don't have to have a conversation with them, then don't interact with them. Just walk away from said relationship or conversation for your own mental well-being. For me, one toxic conversation that I have to deal with is conversation with my ex, because we co-parents, so we have to communicate about the kids. Sometimes the conversation turns toxic, but one thing I do is we have a scheduled days that when he has the kids, I can call to talk to the kids. And when I have the kids, he can call those days and time, specific time, to talk to the kids. So when it's not those days or those time, I have him on black, or his notification, whether be text or call, is muted on my phone. So I don't have to communicate with him when I don't have to. So that's one thing I do to control or limit toxic conversation with said person in my life. Now I encourage you all to make observation of your daily life and see what conversation or what environment or what is something, identify sources of your stress. What are things in your life that is causing you to have increased stress level, and limit those things in your life. Another thing we could do is to fuel our body for resiliency, which is like eating healthy food option, but it's recommended having rich magnesium rich food like spinach, almond, dark chocolate, These help regulate stress hormones. That could help you a lot. Another thing is sleep hygiene. Go to bed at the same time daily to avoid strain 1 hour before sleep, and keep your room cool and dark. Now that's one thing that is hard because most of us are on our phone at night before we go to bed, or we are either in bed watching TV before we go to sleep. So that's one thing that we can practice to start doing. If it's not 1 hour, maybe start from 20 minutes, 15 minutes, but start somewhere. Start small and then, increase and gradually make it better for yourself. Uh, and then I would say shift your mindset. So how you do this is about changing how you perceive stress. Instead of seeing stress as a threat, view it as a challenge or a signal. Example is reframing. Like for example, when we have deadlines, we stress about a deadline. Like we say this deadline is tough, but instead of saying this deadline is tough and stressing about the deadline, we could say something like this deadline is tough, but it's also a chance to prove my skill. But also another thing we could do, practice self-compassion, because most time we seem to be more compassionate to other people than we are to ourselves. So replace harsh self-talks with affirmation like I am doing the best I can. Also another thing that we can do to shift our mindset is to journaling prompts. So it could be like writing down one thing you handle well today or every day, and then also write down what's stressing you today and how can you control that. And once you figure that out, you take care of what you can control, and everything else that you cannot control, you try not to stress about it, because at that point it's out of your control. Stressing about it is only gonna make you sick. It's only gonna affect your body. It's only gonna cause more harm to you than any good. So with that being said, I want you all to drop in the comment section what's one thing that is causing you to stress that you're gonna trigger today. What's one habit that you're gonna put into your daily routine to help lower your stress level. As always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Share my video to your friends and your loved ones, and I look forward to sharing more life tip with you all.